even if you've reached that level of success that you think that you've won or succeeded at, you're always going to be a student.
More money last year in my year of faith than I have in my entire life in 1 year.
That you should consider in terms of insurance. And today I have with me State Farm Agency owner, Ms. Natalie Reed. Natalie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Nicole.
I'm excited you're here because one of the things that I think just throughout life, as you begin to go through your career, as you begin to start a family, insurance is one of those things that you either know it or you don't, or a friend of a friend is sharing information with you on, insurance. And I feel like even with the sake of this show, in terms of Boss Up, it's one of those things that we normally forget. And the brunt of life and trying to figure out different things, life events. But it's something that we should definitely continue to focus on. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about just the start of your business, of the agency, and then let's get into like the meat of what people should consider.
The meat and potatoes. Okay, so prior to being a State Farm agent, I practiced as a CPA. Wow. Relocated about 7 years ago from Miami, Florida to open my own State Farm agency.
Here in Atlanta?
So we are in Marietta, Georgia, South Cobb, but we basically service the whole state. Licensed to take care of the whole entire state of Georgia. I have a team of 5 people in addition to myself, focus on auto insurance, homeowners insurance, business insurance, which most people don't realize that they need. Even if you have a business at home, you need to make sure that you have insurance to protect yourself.
We're going to get into that one.
Yes, very, very important. We take care of life insurance, Rocket Mortgage, which partners with State Farm, so we can help people with new purchases of homes as well as refinances.
Wow, you had a small but mighty team of 5 handling all of that.
Yes, and we are looking for more people.
Good to know. I hope you guys are listening. If you're in this particular space and you know some, knowledge in terms of insurance or have a background in finance, this might be an opportunity for you as well.
On that note too, our experience, this is something that honestly you kind of learn on a job. You do have to get a license by the state, but we do offer inside training as well as I provide outside training as well.
Oh, that's great. That is great. So as you were making that transition, let's get into like the growth of your agency and how you were able to just transition from Miami to Atlanta. Still the southern region. But totally different atmosphere. Like, what was the growth factor for you and your business? What are some of the challenges that you might have faced in making that transition and now being an agency owner of this small but mighty team?
So honestly, it was tough. It was hard. At the time I was single, I relocated from Miami by myself, no family.
Oh my
Left
goodness.
my corporate job and became a business owner, a small business owner, which nobody really teaches you. You kind of learn on the job. The challenge that we had then and still have now is finding good people, qualified people, right? So you see it on the news, you talk to people time, you see the signs saying, hey, we're hiring, we're short staffed. There's something that I think all business owners are dealing with. So the hardest thing is recruiting, training, retaining folks, keeping the good people, and sometimes letting go the bad ones as well. So those are some, I think honestly that was the main challenge that we had as a small business owner.
Wow. And that's actually, I guess it's like a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, in the moment, it's like, I don't want to have to go through this.
It's
like,
painful.
I really don't want to do this. But and looking at the full scheme of everything, for that to be like the biggest challenge, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to continue to have this revolving door,
Yeah.
but if I had to pick a challenge, maybe this is the one that I want to actually have in my business as a new business owner.
Yes, and honestly, you have a good point. That is, most people, they're looking for clients.
Yeah.
We have plenty of clients and prospects, right?
Yeah.
Insurance is something that is always in demand. People need it.
Yeah.
People have to have it, right?
Yeah.
It's legal. It's illegal if you don't have insurance,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're driving around.
Yeah.
But the team is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
You are only as strong as your team. There is no I in team. And the reality is you cannot do all the work yourself. If you do, you will burn out.
Yes, and we're not in the business of burning out.
No.
We are not in the business of burning out. I think the key point, the key takeaway there is just making sure that you have the right team, the right resources.
Yes.
And being able to determine how to leverage other people's skills. How do I delegate certain information to the team that I want to onboard, and what should I look out for? How can I be as specific and as strategic as possible with the people that I bring into the company? Like,
Yes.
what do I as the business owner need to effectively communicate so I can continue to drive the right people into my business?
But that was one of my favorite moments of this season.
Oh my God.
Look, and Maria's turning red over here.
Right.
He just went in on me for real. I'm like, oh my God.
How do you decide what is a priority at the moment versus something that you can complete at a later date?
What feels right in the moment? Because sometimes it's like, okay, this is really high on my priority list, but I really just don't feel like it. But I think that in order to be productive is like, do what's best for what you feel like in the moment. So if this easier task is easier for you, do that and then tackle the harder task.
When you're talking about hiring and building a team, you want to have processes.
Yeah.
So I do have initial assessments before I even have a phone screening, right?
Perfect.
So as you get applicants, make sure you have an assessment in place to
Yeah.
identify if this person is a right fit for your company.
Yeah.
Then we go to the next phase of phone screening. And if they sound good on the phone and they're articulate, then you can move on to a face-to-face interview.
Yep.
It gets a little bit more challenging because people have to be licensed by the state
Yeah.
and have to meet certain criteria. You have to do background checks because you're handling folks' personal information.
Yep.
So looking for the right person could be challenging.
Yeah.
In addition to bringing on this qualified person after they pass these tests that the state says they're required to have, is making sure that they're not just on the right bus, on your bus, but they're sitting in the right seats. In my business, we have some folks that are focused on maybe sales or bringing in new customers.
Okay.
And then we have our farmers, our service folks that are taking care of our current customers and, loving on them, any changes that they need to make. Those people are taking care of that. So I'm running kind of mini agencies within my business.
Agency, yes. That's
we have
a huge
teams.
thing. Oh my goodness.
The other thing too is honestly, when you're looking to build a team, you want to focus on paying people fairly. You want to offer the right benefits. I always tell people, be the boss that you want to have. So in addition to paying them fair, like I said, training, inside training, on-the-job training, outside training, I do send them to certain sales and service training. And this is ongoing throughout their tenure. I've been in business. In September will be 7 years, and I have a couple of folks that have been with me at least 5 years now.
Wow.
So I've learned to, you know, to offer things that I can help, you know, hold on to the good folks. In addition to that, I offer retirement planning or retirement benefits for my team, health insurance, paid time off, a great environment. So I think people need to, when they're thinking about hiring people, you want to look at just the long-term effects of hiring the right person, not just for today, but thinking years ahead.
Future.
Yes, because turnover can be expensive.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It costs more to go through that process continuously than it does to hire somebody and keep them for long term.
Yes.
So it sounds like you got everything in place there. And I think that was helpful, whether you're in insurance or any business, really, just that process and that model that you've been able to shape and craft with your own team is just something that we could all adopt as business owners. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Let's get into what you offer. Like, we talked about business insurance.
Yes.
And this is a show about being a business owner and, you know, bossing up in your industry.
Yeah.
Any tips or information that, you know, the listeners, our audience can just take from what you guys offer and, you know, can look into that business owners needed to adopt?
So that's a good question, Nicole. So most people, like I said, think about State Farm from auto insurance, homeowners insurance. Well, we offer a gamut of things, and from business owners, because I do, like I said, we offer business insurance, is when they come in asking us about business insurance, we talk to them as well about putting their own benefits in place. So most people, when they've worked for a corporate job or another employer, they relied on that employer for their 401k or 403b or retirement planning benefits. But as a business owner, you want to make sure you have your own benefits in place. So in addition to business insurance that covers you from a liability perspective, if you do something as a business owner or somebody that, you know, slips and falls, there's liability insurance in place to protect you. Also your business property, which is also something that insurance protects, right? So if you have equipment or something like that you rely on to run your business and there's a fire, God forbid, or something happens, your insurance will also take care of your business property.
Oh, that's good
We
to know.
also provide retirement planning for business owners, life insurance, buy-sell agreements. For partnerships, we also provide key man life insurance for those important key persons in a business. If that person passes away, you still want the business to continue, right?
Yeah.
So you most likely will need funds to kind of keep it going. So we do offer that as well.
That is amazing. One thing you just mentioned in terms of buy-sell, is that if you do a merger acquisition for your business off to someone else? Is that what that?
That's a good question.
Okay.
So let me see how I can explain this in layman terms.
Okay.
So say you and I in partnership, right?
Okay.
We form company A, right?
Okay.
God forbid, either one of us passes away. You may not want to run our business with my husband, and I may not want to run our business if you pass away with your husband.
Okay.
Right? So this buy-sell agreement is something that you put in place prior to, you know, either person passing away.
Yeah.
It's life insurance that the business will provide for you and for me. And the agreement is if I pass away, life insurance will pay the company and I can pay your family off for your portion of the business, and I can continue on without having to do business with your husband and vice versa.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of helps fund buying out the person if something happens to either one of the partners.
That's really good to put in place. It's almost like a preparedness, disaster
Business
recovery,
continuation.
Contingency type of situation.
Yes.
I never knew that existed.
Yes. A lot of people don't think about those things, but, you know, usually with a business, especially a small business, the main drivers are the people that actually started the company. And when you're talking about leaving inheritance, a business is also a legacy as well. But you may not want to do business with that person's heirs.
That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys offer a breadth of information, a lot of different resources. Before we wrap up here, I want to be able to share more information about the college and retirement planning, because I think that is also key. And we don't necessarily think about that when we think insurance for personal or business. But specifically for business, like how do I put that in place, and what are some of the things that you guys
So,
share. Yeah.
I can only say certain things
Okay.
based on the licensing and the stuff that I have with State Farm. But we do, like I said, offer an array of retirement planning for all ages. So
Okay.
whether you are someone who is conservative or more high risk when it comes to investing or planning, there is a gamut of things that we can offer to help fill the needs of the customer. And we do offer college planning as well. People, you don't want to wait till the child is in their teenage years to put something in
It's
place.
too late.
The sooner, the better. If you do wait until their teenage years, just know that you're going to have to probably put a lot more in that pot
Yep.
than you would if they started younger. But we do offer that as well. So you can, kind of help put some kind of plan or legacy in place so your kids don't have to get student loans, which I think is, if you needed to go to school.
I just paid off mine. Listen, it's no
Which is
no
a
joke.
blessing. That's not usually a lot
Yeah.
of folks' story these days. But,
Yeah.
if you want to set your kid up for success,
Yeah.
there are things that State Farm does offer to help you do that.
That is amazing. So guys, if you are watching, if you are listening and you're like, I had no idea these type of services existed. I need to do a little bit more research. Be sure to reach out to Natalie for more information. Natalie, before we close here, is there any other final tips that you want to share about your agency, about just something, some words of wisdom that you want to leave the audience with? Just on a
So
good note.
for business owners, and thank you for asking me that, Nicole, I mentioned earlier that the team is very, very important. In addition to having a team, I would say every business owner need to make sure they have adequate systems and processes in place.
Yes.
So you can repeat your life and your team life's easier,
Yep.
right? People want to know what they're doing when they come to work, and it makes it easier if it's a process that they can follow. Make sure you have those processes written down in case something happens to you.
Yep.
People can read something and know what to follow. And then lastly, pray and never give up on your dreams. You can always change or give up on your dreams because it's not easy,
Yes.
but it's worth it.
I love that. I love that. That's amazing. And that you're a woman after my own heart because I'm a project manager. So processes and systems are like ingrained in my brain.
Yep. That's a CPA in me. I
Oh,
used
my
to audit
goodness.
financial statements
Yes.
and processes, and it's so important that things a lot more easier. You're going to have mistakes because we're human, but it'll help avoid a lot of things. And then, just like I said, you can have repeatable success.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you, Natalie. I appreciate the show and sharing some wisdom. I learned something today, some new terms, some new keywords. I hope you guys learned something today. Be sure to reach out to Natalie because I'm sure there's something that we just discussed that you're like, oh my God, I need to look into. I had no idea this offer was even available. So we appreciate Natalie for being on the show today. And I thank you for watching, tuning in, share this with a friend, and we'll catch you next time on Boss Up.